Hey guys, it's Strashme. Welcome back to my channel. Wow, I'm bursting. What an intense week. The first episode of Instant Influencer launched, and I am here to answer all of your guys' questions about the behind the scenes, the other contestants, how I felt about the elimination, all the good juicy stuff, nothing but the truth. I just want to take a minute to thank everybody that watched the show and everybody that's supporting everybody in the show, especially me. The experience has been absolutely insane. The feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and I have just been so all over the place with emotions. So I'm so excited to have you guys here to give you guys just a little inside scoop. I hope everybody is staying safe during this crazy quarantine and being happy at home. Make sure you guys are keeping your mental health in check, doing meditation, positive affirmations. Make sure you're being productive around the house, keeping yourself clean and your space uncluttered and sanitized. I've asked you guys on Instagram to hit me with some questions, so we are going to answer those right now. Okay, so right out the gate, who is your favorite judge and why? This was a hard one because if you guys watch the show, each judge brings something very different. If I had to choose, I would say Norvina is my favorite judge, only because she gave the most groundbreaking feedback and she just picked up on things that like I would never have like considered. I feel like I gained the most from Norvina. Obviously Paris Hilton is like everyone's favorites, just period, because she's Paris. So the fact that she like called me sexy and that she said that I was confident and that she defended my resting bitch face, she's definitely a very close second. Which part of the episode was the most challenging? I would say filming my YouTube tutorials in front of the camera crew. So in my studio lab, there was like 2 or 3 cameramen like in my face behind my camera as I'm trying to, like right now if I was doing this, there would be people filming me, and like I just had to act like I wasn't completely dying on the inside, like with nerves. That was definitely the hardest thing to get over right at first. I was super nervous having people watch me film and be messing up. Do you think BRITNEY deserved to go home? Did she deserve to go home? I don't know. It's a competition show, so I don't think it's about deserving. I think it's about who brings it and who doesn't. Every single one of us went back to that room before elimination when they were deliberating, and we all had an inkling that like for some reason we could go home. Personally, like I was like, oh my god, I look like a robot, like they're not gonna like me. Definitely watch out for BRITNEY though. She has learned a lot from this experience, trust me. Who is your closest friend in the show? So this is what you guys don't know. When we were on set, we could not talk to each other because this wasn't a scripted show. So they wanted every single moment to be made like while they were filming, which like I get that. We would like sneak and talk, and the first person that like snuck and talked to me was Christian. And he was super sweet, like he knew who I was, and I was like, oh my god, both of our videos had like the most views out of the whole cast. So I feel like we were both kind of like, you know, sizing each other up. And then once everybody got more comfortable, I feel like me and Kaylin's personalities really clicked because she's just super talkative and bubbly, and even though like I'm not that way, I really enjoy those types of personalities. So yeah, definitely like Christian and Kaylin. What was your first real thought about James Charles in person? When he walked on the set and was like, hi sisters, and we all were standing there like in a line, that was the first time all of us met him. So truly and genuinely in that moment, I felt like he was so like sparkly and like he looked exactly like his YouTube videos. He was super snatched, and I was actually shocked by how comfortable and professional he was as a host. Like he is a good host. He was running his lines for the first time with us. So crazy. What does your son think of all this? Honestly, like he could care less. Like he's just like, mom, like you'll never make fetch happen. Like you'll never be cool to me. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll never stop trying. Who was the nicest person you met on Instant Influencer? Oh my gosh, Gabriel. Gabriel is absolutely the sweetest person I've ever met. Till this day, he is so nice. And I'm like, how is someone so sweet? Do you think your maturity and personality difference from others affected you negatively? I was afraid that it would, just because I was kind of like what are they looking for, you know? But all I can be is myself. This same person also asked, despite being very transparent in the first episode challenges, do you still feel misunderstood? I think that like it's a very accurate depiction of my character. Like I'm super reserved and I don't overcompensate usually for like other people's discomfort, but I'm a super goofy, vulnerable, very sensitive person. So like that part I do feel like is a little bit misunderstood about me. I was okay with like not having this super bursting emotion as long as my commercial turned out good. If it was a personality challenge, challenge, I think I would have focused a lot more on opening up and being transparent. But they told me to create a campaign, a commercial in 3 hours, conceptualize it, film it, and edit it. I was focused on delivering the product, not so much my emotions. So I was okay with like that not showing through because that wasn't my goal. I promise you guys though, I will be a lot more vulnerable moving forward. I do understand the power of vulnerability, so I'm not against it. It's just not in my nature. What happened when you guys were in the room waiting? We were losing our minds in that room because every time we were in the room, they were deliberating about us and we could not hear what they were saying. So we were like our own worst enemies. We were all in our heads. Kaylin's ass, the elimination challenge, she went back there and literally convinced all of us that she did horrible and that like she was going home. And like, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, babe. And then we went out there and she killed it. Ma'am, you slaughtered that challenge. I was impressed with Kaylin so much in that moment. I was like, oh, okay, like, so you're good, huh? Oh, so you're skilled. Okay, so this person asks, are you happy with your edit and were you expecting all the positive reaction towards the show? I think my edit is actually pretty accurate. It's a little bit scary right now, but it's truly how like people respond to me in like the real world, so I'm not mad at it. I think all of us were nervous about the feedback because of the typical response that James gets, and then there was some diversity upset because there like was a lack of that in the cast. So when we realized that narrative was happening, we were kind of like bracing ourselves for like, oh shit, like what are people gonna think about us? Were you expecting the show to have all this production value? I wasn't. I honestly, like going into this, I thought we were going to be in like kind of a small house and like James was gonna vlog. But this was a massive studio and there was like a 45-person production team. I did not expect it to be that like refined. Absolutely not. Do you stan Paris even more now that you've been in her presence? 100%. I remember Paris Hilton when she literally started this influencer shit on Simple Life with Nicole Richie. It was a wild feeling for her to call me sexy and like hot, and like I was like, girl, no one can ever tell me anything ever again. Like, was there food behind the scenes? Yes, there was food behind the scenes. Whether or not it was tasty was totally up to the day. Like the first day I like tried really hard to convince the talent manager to take us to Chick-fil-A, and so I was like, hey, psst, hey, you know, what's up? I'm just saying that we don't even have to ask them, we could just go. He was like, okay, I mean, like, you don't have to be sneaky, but I was like, don't just take them. And he's like, stop trying to coerce me. It's not something that you need to sneak. And I was like, how many episodes are you doing? Are they all filmed already or are you doing it weekly? So they're already filmed, we've already wrapped. I think there's 5 episodes, so, or 4. Funniest behind the scenes moment. I don't think anybody else knew about this. Okay, so like I'm pretty extroverted, even though I'm like reserved. I have no problem talking to people and I'm not uncomfortable like initiating conversations. The first day we were there, we did our key art photo shoots, which is like the photos that you guys saw like when we announced our spots on the show. Before we went on, like we were watching the other person wrap up. So I was like watching Kaylin wrap up her shoot. I go over to like this group of 3 or 4 people and I can tell they're a part of the crew. And so I was just like laughing and like making jokes. And this guy came over and he like was cracking up. This guy was laughing and I was like, oh, I know why I'm here. Like, why are you guys here? Like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm the executive producer. And I was like, that is not intimidating at all. I feel the exact same way about you, sir. I'm just going to step over here and stop joking with you immediately. Oh shit, like, oh my God. So like we didn't know what they were watching or like what they were judging. So the fact that I was making like inappropriate jokes with the executive producer before I knew who he was, that was a little embarrassing. Okay, I'm gonna do one more question and then I'm gonna wrap this up. So this question says, do you think you should have won the elimination challenge? The way I was blown away by Kaylin, I think that she should have won. The way she convinced us that it was gonna be like a disaster and like the fact that it translated so well, like I was genuinely taken aback and I was like, okay, like she's good. I think I did a really good job and I think that I accomplished what they asked of me, but Kaylin made me want to buy that sponge. So I was like, I mean, I'm not mad at it. Okay guys, I am all done. I hope that this gives you a little bit of an insight into my experience behind the scenes on the set. I was a nervous wreck and I was just trying to keep it together the whole time. So I'm happy that I didn't like barf on set. I'm so excited that you guys took the time to watch me on the show. I can't wait for next week. I can do these for every episode if you guys want. Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments how you guys liked my edit on the show. I'm so eager to know what you guys think of the competition and the first challenge, me winning the first challenge. Like, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think I deserve the win? How do you feel about the elimination step? hairstyle that James chose, that was super intense. We didn't know that he eliminated Brittany face to face. Like, that was very intense to watch. Let me know what you guys think about that. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video, you guys. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, follow me on all of my socials, and I will see you guys next week.